Okay, up top we've got Tatanka and his opponent for the first time in the round of 16, Jordy. And Jordy definitely has their work cut out for them. Tatanka could be considered the GOATs of Tooth and Tail, I think, at this point. Plenty of championship wins, plenty of championship second places. And Jordy is, yeah, this is their first time in the round of 16. I think they started playing a couple years ago in maybe one of the 2v2 events. Also, I believe, famously, a dad gamer. So, welcome aboard. Made it to the round of 16. Very excited to see how they face off against Tatanka. Again, one of the best players of all time in Tooth and Tail. So, what do you do if you're Jordy in this position? Do you try to go something crazy? Do you try to just meet Tatanka in a fair game? I mean, he's got the lizards. And this is a really good lizard map for Jordy, right? Like, Tatanka's base is very open to be attacked by various angles. Tatanka does have the toads, though, so lizards aren't going to be a sustainable unit for a late-game comp. Or even a mid-game comp, but you could try to do some tactics with them. I love opening, if I am playing lizards, my 8-farm double as lizards. And then you just kind of get those 6 lizards on the map you can start running around with. But gonna go for Squirrel Cam, and Cam's a solid opening. Generally, high-level players like to get into a tier 2 very fast, so pretty safe to be able to do that sort of thing. Hello, Razzle the Red in the chat. We are on the second series, and thank you for being a subscriber. So Tatanka's getting the raccoons out, which the cams do generally do well against, because the raccoons, you're going to want to put them outside your territory, so they're going to be a little bit vulnerable so they can make that money. And the cams are going to, be able to take advantage of that. If the cams can get on top of raccoons, they can beat them down pretty fast, but I do think raccoon versus cam is pretty even if the raccoons can, safely stay on the back line. They do a lot of burst damage to high HP units like the cams and can take them down, so. Jordy getting to a second base, and Tatanka sees it. Overall, I think Jordy's progression here is pretty safe and confident. Tatanka not taking that second base yet. Tatanka actually going double raccoons. We saw R22 do this against Tatanka in the last championship. So we'll see how well it works out for him here. Is he going to take the second base? Yeah, it looks like he's coming over here to take it now. Oh, maybe not. Right now, I would say kind of advantage to Jordy. After he saw the toads, I think if you are Squizzard versus Squode, you just stick to 3 lizards and try to get your lizards to blow up the toads, right? Because if you build 3 lizards and they build 6 to 9 toads, you can actually make that a favorable trade for yourself. Having the lizards kind of tank those toad shots for the squirrels. So yeah, overall, I like this position for Jordy. I would say he's got a bit of an advantage right now. He's got the second base up and running. He's not super vulnerable to Tatanka. Tatanka has not made a second base, and this should really be sitting the alarm bells off in Jordy's head. Yep, smart move, going down to 3 lizards. And yeah, I mean, Tatanka's going to try to attack here. Ooh, needs to be careful with these cams. Cannot lose these cams right before the beginning of the battle. Oh, when cam goes down. All right, Tatanka's going to come in for the attack, but is it going to work? I don't think so. Let's see. Getting those cams so early on, though, made a really big difference here. And the squirrels did pretty much get obliterated by the toads. So it does look like this attack might work. Let's see. Oh, that 2 HP raccoon, man. That's so triggering. Oh, and it's getting healed, too. Oh, my God. How is it still alive? Insane. All right, Jordy's going to hold on. And again, Jordy's got that farm. He did lose. Well, I mean, if you look at the deltas, I think Tatanka got a little bit better of a trade there, but Jordy has been on that extra farm. Now, 1 farm advantage, not the end of the world. It's not like Jordy had half a base saturated or anything. Jordy looks like he wants to counterattack, though. He sold off the skunks in favor of a lot of tier 1. The 5-minute mark has come and gone, so we might be getting into the dirt this game. I think neither player can really eco up. Yeah, Jordy's playing so good. Look at this. He's got the 3rd farm. Is he going to continue to farm? This is clutch. Like, it's really a hard decision to make. Going for Falcons. Is he going to have enough time for the Falcons? And some more farms. Yeah, that might have been the mistake. That was very greedy from Jordy. Jordy's going to push in, and most of his squirrels are still alive here. If Jordy can hold off... Okay, the problem is the raccoon's getting healed. Such a good army comp here from Tatanka. Yeah, I think... Yeah, Jordy needed to just keep building tier 1. He tried to build 2 farms in the Falcon, and I was actually about to point this out. I don't want to sound smart in retrospect, but I was like, this is getting so tense because, like, throwing down a single farm rather than tier 1 at that moment is just such a big risk. And I think Jordy was playing a phenomenal game there. But yeah, just decided to go for this greedy decision with those 2 farms and the Falcon there at the very end. And, you know, Tatanka was waiting to pounce. So, good job sparring with Tatanka most of that match, but mistake there at the end. And Tatanka takes it. Let's go into game number 2. All right, Tatanka up top and Jordy in the south. Nice little base here for Tatanka. Look at this. Just this one little ramp here. I mean, I guess there's this back ramp, and there are lizards from Jordy. All right, Tatanka with a deck that looks like it's from 2022. Are we going Owl Balloon Wars here? Honestly, this is such a good spawn for that. Like, imagine, like, 2 balloons, like, right here. Just protecting both these bases. I don't know if that's enough, though, to be fair. Like, if you are going to get balloons and kind of turtle up, I think you want 3 bases at least to really just kind of rail out those owls. Well, we'll see if we even get there. I think Jordy's deck is definitely better, but Tatanka's deck is more fun. I feel like Tatanka's deck... I mean, I could be totally wrong on this, but... This definitely seems like a tournament series deck, right? Where it's like... It might not be the best thing ever, but it's like... Who's expecting Owl Balloon in this meta, right? And then after you see that out at Tatanka, you're like, what? Like, do I have to, like, think about that or account for that? So I think it's good to mix in for the series. Also, Tatanka is very heavily favored here. So might be experimenting. Might be kind of throwing Jordy a little bit of a handicap. But Tatanka going to go ahead and get to the eco. Tatanka will generally likes to eco. If Jordy offered the gentleman's agreement, shake hands, get the 16 farms, I think Tatanka would definitely take it. Not every player would. Yeah, we just gotta let this one brew for a minute. Actually, as I say that, Jordy is looking to move out. However, Tatanka saw it a mile away, so I don't think this is gonna work. Yeah, again, this is just such a defendable position from Jordy. The only kind of weakness is from Tatanka. The only weakness is if Jordy gets Falcons. This seems a little cliff abusable, but the balloons really help with that so much. Jordy's gonna come in. And is this attack working? 1 HP on the commander. I was getting really worried there for a second. But Jordy did get a Warren. So that's not nothing. Probably would have preferred to get a farm. And the camp's coming out. But Jordy has not taken a second base here. So there it is. I think Jordy was really... It's games like this that are a little confusing, right? Because it's like, technically, Tatanka was up a farm, 2 farms and a mill. Jordy did nothing but build tier 1, but Tatanka was still able to defend. And it really comes down to positioning, unit comps. Where that's hard to defend is if the attack is on the second mill itself, especially with moles. And look at this, Tatanka's not even going to ask for the agreement, he's just going to go right up. And I think Jordy should follow suit. He really needs he sees how many farms Tatanka has, so I think you gotta try to keep up there. Alright, the 16 farms should be getting hit there. They are. And now do we start saving up for an owl? Let's see, you got the skunk snake is so strong. I think the squirrel skunk snake is a great combo. I think pigeons probably over the toads. Yeah, here comes a double owl. And then if Jordy somehow tries to pull the trigger against this, Tatanka can just build some balloons. So this is looking a little tough for Jordy. The boar is going to be good against the owl for sure. But Jordy's got to sniff this out. I mean, double tier 3 rather, coming out of Tatanka. And Jordy is going to get for a third base, start getting the Falcons up and running. But he needs a good scout. He needs to see that Tatanka... Okay, this is a good scouting path. Oh, he got scared off by the cabin a little bit. Oh, he's just looking for other bases. I thought he was going to try to swing in and see the back. And now we've got triple owl. So, yeah, it's really unfortunate for Jordy. He hasn't been able to scout. He really needs to see what Tatanka's doing because he needs to sell off his squirrels, get into his boar, and then just start massing falcons. Okay, there it is. So he sees it now. But is it too late, is the question. And he's going to go for an attack, which I guess actually, you know, it does make sense. There's so much money wrapped up into these owls right now. This is what the balloons are for. This is such a defendable base from Tatanka, though, man. Absolutely crazy. Falcon's gonna come in, gun down a pig. Oof, all the skunk gas. All the tier 1 just getting dragged through the skunk gas. The cam's finally able to get on top of the tier 2. The owls start spawning. Man, I feel like the map, this map is just so good for Tatanka, and this wall. I mean, just all those units having to be through the gas. The cams never really were able to get up on their up on the enemy until it was too late. Does Tatanka just win with this attack here? I think if Jordy scouted, Jordy really neglected scouting the main base for a long time, and if Jordy was able to scout it a little bit earlier, they would have been able to get into the boar or falcon, right? So Jordy's gonna hold it down, but... Oh man, the snake, the poison on the commander is so brutal. Yeah, and I think this one is pretty much over. Yeah, Jordy knows it too. Alright, 2-0 for Tatanka. Let's see if Jordy can manage to take a match off the legend in game number 3. Alright, Tatanka on the right and Jordy on the left. This wonderful winter map. Again, another pretty good spawn here for Tatanka. Nice, very defendable base. Lots of cliffs here, even double high ground for that second base. Pretty good third base option as well. Meanwhile, not terrible for Jordy. You know, Jordy's got a very easy second base, and the third base is getting a little bit more exposed, though. And Jordy's changing it up with a ferret this time around. Meanwhile, Tatanka is definitely going into flex mode here with the... Actually, you know, didn't Meek play this or something? Or Fox is an interesting tier 3 combo. I think Fox Mine is also a lot of fun. Can kind of bait people into your mines. No tier 2 at all, though. So, might have a little bit of a weak mid game. Meanwhile, Jordy with the Ferret. No high ground vision, though. No pigeons or falcons, no flying units to support the Ferret. Give it a little bit more vision. Excited to see if we get a Boar Fox combo out from Tatanka here. 8 farm Ferret from Jordy. Let's go. I think Jordy has realized his chances are probably pretty small. And just going to go for something crazy here. Now, Jordy's also got Ferret Mine. Tatanka with a very fast second base. Yeah, let's see it. I think, yeah, like 9 squirrels, some ferrets, some mines. The problem for Jordy is that Tatanka does have lizards, which are pretty good against ferrets. But with the mine support, this could be good. I think this... If there is a game Jordy's gonna win, this might be it. But yeah, I think this is most likely going to get ran over by the Squizzard. I hope not. He needs mines. The mines are the critical component here, and he's gonna come all the way up. Yeah, I'm worried about this. I don't know if this is gonna work. I think the Squizzard's... Yeah, the Squizzard... Oof. Just gonna get the reinforcements. I mean, he's gonna get the mill, but it doesn't matter. I think if Tatanka just wipes this army, he counterattacks and wins. Okay, sold off that ferret. That one far up warren's a little bit dangerous, but okay, lots of squirrels here. Gonna lose that, yeah, gonna lose the proxy warren, if you will. But there are enough squirrels to defend this. Jordy should be fine. Tatanka even eyeing those mines. But pure squirrel is not going to beat Squizzard, especially when there's open areas. Now, if he could get like this, that angle he got was strong. Like that's where the squirrels will beat the Squizzard. It's mostly the fact that so units have to find a tile before they shoot, right? So if you can get your squirrels in a position to where it's like it's difficult for the opponent's army to find tiles to actually stand on, then they're never going to shoot. Like, little things like that can really make a huge difference in Tooth and Tail. Jordy's just gonna go for it. This is a lot of Squizzards. A lot of squirrels, rather. And... yeah, it looks like Jordy's got the better angle at the moment. Is Jordy gonna get a game? Ignore the mill. Ignore the mill. This is where you gotta focus fire. Yeah, that mill... that was a bad move up there from Jordy. Because that mill just tanked so much damage. Like, that should be a handful of dead squirrels. So that might have been all it takes for Tatanka to get back into it. Jordy's gonna try again. But this is not gonna work. Yeah, Tatanka's re-rallied enough. Jordy had an advantage for a split second there. But again, took a fight on the mill where that mill was just taking so many incidental hits. So I don't know if Tatanka will be able to just come in here and kill Jordy, but I think Jordy's got to take a second base now. Yeah. Ooh, gonna stand. Honestly, the mine's not gonna make a difference. Mine only matters if it happens like during a fight or right before a fight. So traded a mine for a squirrel, and then these squirrels should heal up if they go back to their territory. Alright. Getting down to a very low eco game here. Jordy, with 19 squirrels, going to try to move out again. Tatanka taking the mill advantage. Again, Jordy's going to try to find one of these weird angles where it's like his units have tiles and his opponents don't. But you got to be careful. This might kind of have the opposite effect. Yeah, see, look at all these squirrels moving around, doing absolutely nothing. Yeah, that was brutal. That was a mistake from Jordy to try to walk through that choke point. That's exactly what I was talking about. I'm glad we actually got to see that showcased, and that is too much. I think Tatanka should be just going across the map and winning from here. That was too big of a loss. GG, Tatanka! Gonna take the series 3-0, but Jordy putting up some fights.